Hey everyone, Casey Stubbs here with trading strategy guides and dream trades. We are doing a trading experiment for the year of 2021. Very excited about it. We got a lot of good feedback. So it seems like a lot of people were really interested in this. But what I want to do right now is get a sound check just to make sure everybody can hear me. So if you can hear me, it'd be great if you could just type in the chat and let me know that everything's sounding okay, because we are currently in a live environment and I'm going to be starting the training in about 5 minutes because I had scheduled it for 9 o'clock, so everybody is in there. So it looks like at least we got some people starting to show up. Danny, you can hear us. Morris, you can hear as well. Okay, great. All right, so those guys just came. Ben can hear as well. Peter is on point. So good. Awesome. All right. Ooh, we're really getting some good comments flowing through right now. So we're going to, great. Awesome. Good. So let me just get started here in about 4 minutes. Let me share my screen here and we'll be starting in about 4 minutes. All right, well, it's 9 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Want to just thank everybody for being here. We got a really nice turnout and got some great comments. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the comments about my family and great health. I appreciate that as well. So thank you guys so much for that. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start with the presentation, and then we're going to go look at the markets and kind of explain what the experiment is, what I was planning on doing, how we're going to do this. So let's see here. Can you guys see my screen here? Let me just mess with one other thing. There we go. Okay. All right. So it looks like everything's good, and let's get started. So here we go. It's $1 million experiment. And before we get started, disclaimer, trading's risky. Don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. You want to make sure that you're not gambling, that you have an actual plan. There are risks involved with trading. So here's what I'm going to be doing right now. And I'm going to be attempting to grow 3 different small accounts to $1 million in January. Or starting in January, it's going to be a year long. The process is going to be 1 year. And I'm going to be doing 3 different accounts and 3 different types of trading. So type number 1 is going to be Forex. Type number 2 is going to be stocks. And type number 3 is going to be options. And we are going to do all 3 accounts at the exact same time, which is going to be interesting. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And it's good. Mainly, this is for educational purposes. Again, not everyone I expect to be doing this. Honestly, this is just a demonstration on how to grow a small account to a large account. A lot of people are always asking me if I can show them that, and so I'm going to do it. However, this is for educational purposes and demonstration. You should make your own plan based on how your experience level is, how your trading style is, your risk levels. All of that stuff needs to be according to your dynamic that fits you, because what fits me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fit you. So you want to be planning appropriately. Very important factor here. So here's how the strategies are going to play out. Today's session, I'm just going to talk about Forex because the strategies are really in depth and there's a lot of stuff to go over. Okay, and so I'm going to break down each strategy in each session differently. So the first session is going to be, today's session is going to be about Forex, okay? And then the next one's going to be options, and then we're going to talk about stocks. And so with the Forex account, I'm starting at a $2,100 balance. And with the options account, I'm starting at $880, and the stock account is going to be $50,000. Now, the balances are very different. Starting point, and the reason I did that is because with the stocks, it is a little bit slower because there's no leverage involved. So with stocks, and it's just going to be a little different. So you start with a higher amount in order to do it in the amount of time that I'm allotting for myself, which is going to be about the same amount of trades, the same time frame, which is 1 year. And so that's why I have the different accounts. Each one is designed specifically to be able to accomplish the goal in 1 year. And each one of these accounts is going to be attempted to make $1 million. Now, if I am successful, then at the end of the year, we'll have a $3 million trading profit, starting with a 50-some thousand, $52,000, $53,000 starting point, going to $1 million in each account. So, however, even if the one thing I wanted to mention here is if it doesn't happen, well, at least I'll make some money. So the first strategy is Forex. We're going to talk about that. So here's what I call this: the Forex trading, riding the trend for big profits. So the idea here is to find strong trends and ride that trends for massive gains. The benefit to this strategy is that the currency market can create large trends that can go on for months and years. You just need to find the right one and then time the right and get the timing right. Okay, so that's not necessarily an easy task. Okay, but the strategy for me is going to be find a pair that is strongly trending and then look for something that's breaking out to recent highs or something that's pulling back. I also want to look at the swap, the negative swap that won't destroy the trade, because if I'm going to be holding something for a month, so let me just back that up. I should probably have had a definition here. now that I'm looking at it in hindsight. Swap is interest. So if you're holding a trade, when you're trading, you have to use leverage. That's why your gains can be accelerated, but they can also be, the losses can also be accelerated as well. So you want to keep that in mind, that your losses can be accelerated. You always want to be protecting your account. That's first and foremost. But basically, it's having to pay interest on your trade. And some of these, it's pretty high dollar amounts on the interest. And so you want to be careful to make sure that you're not paying too much interest. So it's just something that you check. And then on the actual trade, I'm going to break this down a little bit more at the end, but the idea is to give it a decent amount of room to adjust for market swings and give it roughly 200 and 500 pips per trade. So because I am trying to be aggressive, I don't want to be aggressive and do this with like 10 pips and then be done with it, right? I could do that. I could try to do this same type of experiment and do it on 5-minute charts, but it could be over in 5 minutes. I want this to be able to last a long time. Take it slow. You know, with daily time frames, it takes a little bit slower. It's a little bit longer, but you can respond and react a little bit quicker, and it doesn't take as much time to trade that way. I'm not going to have to sit at the screen all day staring at it. All right, so again, here's kind of how it's going to play out. This is my money management strategy, okay? So first, before I even talk about how I'm going to enter, I want to talk about money management. So the starting balance is 2,100, and I think we should be making yearly plans and strategies all the time. No matter who you are, you should say, okay, it's January. What's my plan for this month? What's my plan for next month? What's my plan for this year? Just sit down, take some time, and analyze what your goals are. I know that's the boring part. People don't want to do that, but sit down, take your time, and do that. And just a heads up too with this, I'm just reminded myself and to you guys, we are going to be doing some giveaways Wednesday, and I'm going to be posting some links in the chat that's going to have the giveaway link because we want you to share this content. So if you share it, you're going to enter into the contest. There's prizes that we're going to be giving away, like shirts. I don't really know exactly what the team decided, but it's going to be like shirts, hats, coffee cups, things like that. Plus, we're going to also give away yearly access to one of our research products, which is called the Dream Trades Monthly Alerts, which comes out with a monthly stock pick, and we've had great success with that. So somebody's going to be able to win that. You just have to enter, and we're going to post the links. But we're going to post those links at the end, so stay tuned for that to enter into the competition. We also have some special offers at the end, too, for everybody that sticks around. Okay, so anyways, back to this. So I'm going to be starting at 2,100. My goal is to make their swing trades, and I'm going to try to take 11 trades to earn $1 million. And so the target, and this is the going to be one of the challenging parts, is I'm going to be targeting 100% return on each trade or more. But the minimum target that I'm going to go for is 100%. That means I'm going to attempt to double. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I am going to double, because I'll talk about the money management. I'm going to be aggressive with managing my risk because I don't want to lose the whole account as well. Just another thing, somebody reminded in the comments, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the trades, because I'm going to also be updating every trade that I take along the way. And so you guys will be able to follow along, get my mindset, see what I'm thinking, see what I'm doing. And so if you subscribe and, hit the notification bell so that you get notified, because if you're on YouTube and you subscribe and you don't hit that notification bell, you won't be notified when I go live. It's roughly going to be around this time when I do. And my initial plan is going to be 9 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but there's no guarantee that I'll be able to do that because, things could change. People might not be interested if I don't get following, or maybe I'm just going to blow everything and do a terrible job, and I'll just be so embarrassed that I won't want to come back. But either way, I'm going to give you a recap and finish it up. But, just hit that subscribe bell so you can get all the notifications because I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, that's what I'm going to initially be targeting. So here's the thing. If I lose the first trade, okay, I'm out of the whole thing, right? And so that's a lot of risk. Now, here's again why I say you plan it for me. I put an amount of money in this account, but this is not my entire capital, okay? I put $2,000 in this account. It's not all my capital. So if I'm saying that I'm risking 100%, it's just on this account. Don't risk 100% of your money ever. That's just so, that's just not smart money management. But that's what I'm doing with this series. But remember, I'm planning for me. I want you guys to plan for you. You don't have to have 2,100. You could do this with, whatever amount that you have, and you want to plan it so that you can be trading again tomorrow. You don't want to go out and just be done with it. You want to really focus and come up with a plan so that you can be trading long term, right? But in this situation, if I lose the first trade, I'm out. It's over. It's done, at least on the Forex side, because then I'll still have the stocks and the options, which is another great reason for having 3 attempts. Now, with that being said, I am going to be making this a little bit bigger of a stop loss, a little bit bigger target, so I have some time. I'm going to try to get this, trying to break it out so that I can give myself as much opportunity as possible, because planning ahead, trying to figure out what the obstacles are, trying to figure out where my advantages are, and utilize the advantages and eliminate those obstacles. That's part of becoming a successful trader. So here's the money management part. Again, it's 2,100 on the first trade. And if I hit the target, right, if we see here, if I hit this target of 2,100, this will be a $2,100 profit, right? So if you make 2,100, then my account goes to 42, right? I double. So on the next trade, I'm only going to risk 2,100. Okay, so the first 2 trades is going to be 2,100, 2,100. Now, the reason I'm doing that is so that if I lose the next trade, then I will still have money in the account to try again, right? Because we want to continue to give ourselves as much opportunity as possible. So after each additional trade that I make, I'm going to leave money in the account needed to trade again so that I have an opportunity to keep this going. So here's the sequence here. Trade 1 would be 2,100. Trade 2 would be 2,100, but the total account of my value is 42. Trade 3 would be $4,000 of risk. And so now my risk is bigger, but my goal is bigger. So if I hit risk 4,000, I hit the double, that will bring it up to 8,000. But when I'm risking 4,000 here, my total account value is 6,000. You see where it says 6,000? That's because I'm leaving some money in, again, in case I lose a trade. And then same, so it just goes on down the line. Trade 4, I'm going to risk 8,000 and I'm going to leave $2,000 in. Okay, because if I hit this $4,000 trade, that's going to be an $4,000 profit. That's going to bump the account up to 10,000 in value. You see that? So I'm going to risk 8. Okay, so the first few months of this is going to be pretty boring. And that's how I want it to be. I don't want this to be high action, right? This isn't high action. This isn't an adrenaline thing. This is a strategy that I'm trying to implement. Okay, so trade 7 is going to start getting a little interesting because I'm going to be risking $64,000. And I'm going to give myself the liberty. So remember, this is going to be live the whole time. But remember, I'm giving myself a little bit of liberty here because, it's real money. So if at the point when trade 7 comes along, we'll see if I get to that point, we'll see how I play this out. This is an outline. This is my strategy, but I can make some adjust here as it goes along. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give myself some room here to make some adjustments. So here it goes down to 12. Trade 8 is 120,000. Trade 9, 200. Trade 10, 400,000. And then trade 11 is $600,000. So on the last trade, and I'm trying to give myself roughly a month per trade. So on trade 11, $600,000. If I won that trade, then it's 1.4 million, right? So it's going over quite a bit. And again, at that point, I don't know what I'll do. I might just cross the $1 million mark and close the trade. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm going to be focusing on this. This is the plan. This is what I want to do. This is the strategy, right? So it's once we get down towards the end, it's going to get a little intense, right? But the key is it's about the process. If I follow the same process, and the cool thing also is it's going to be documented live. So that'll be a lot of fun as well, I believe, just because you'll get my thought process, kind of give you some real value here on some things that you guys can learn along the way. So I think it should be a lot of fun, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's the money management strategy. I spent some time thinking it through. Think it makes sense. I had some other people look at it as well. I may make a few adjustments on the way, but I really like how we started out. So now we're going to get into the actual strategy. I'm going to take some time going over how I'm going to find these trades. If I can find a trade today, I'm going to take it, but I'm not going to guarantee an entry today. Because why? Because I'm not going to play around and take a trade just every time that I can take a trade. So if I take one today, great. If I don't take one today, then I'll just hang in there, and when I see one, I'm going to go live. So that's why you need to subscribe and hit your notifications, because I'm going to go live whenever I do take a trade, and I'm going to put it on. I'm going to share my strategy. I'm going to share the entry, the exit, all of the things that I'm thinking when I'm taking a trade. And so that is the reason why you want to do that. Now, I'm going to try to do it around the same time, so that'll at least help you. And then you can always watch the recording too, because they're going to be recorded. So that'll be helpful as well. So with that being said, I'm going to really try to find something today. So we're going to take some time and dive in to some of these, some of the strategy today. Okay, so here's some obstacles that I have come up with, because I'm thinking, okay, what's the challenge here? Whenever you're planning something out, you need to say, where are your obstacles? What are your obstacles? Okay, and so here's what I came up with. I think this is definitely going to be one of the challenging paths of the three. This might be the most challenging. This one and the options, because they're leveraged. I think the stock will give me my greatest opportunity. Even though stocks move a little slower because they're not leveraged, I think that it's a little safer because it's not leveraged. So the strength and the weakness are also the same there. And you might find that in your own life. Some of your greatest strengths are also your greatest weaknesses. It's kind of interesting how that works out. However, this is definitely not going to be easy. But here's the good news on this. Even if I don't hit the goal, and let's say I end the year at 48,000, that's still a really good year, right? That's still a great year where I can get myself from 2,000 to 48,000. That's great growth. And if I continue on that for the next year, we're going to eventually hit it. It might not happen in a year. It might take 2 years or 3 years, but I'm eventually going to hit it. So I really like the opportunity that I'm presenting myself here. So even if I don't, it's kind of a win-win. Even if I don't hit the goal, I still win. Now, with that being said, I'm going to try really hard to hit the goal, because I've had situations in my life, and you guys tell me how this has played out in your lives, or you can think about it. But I've had situations where I have had really big goals. I'm a big goal guy. I put them up there way higher, probably a little higher than what they should be, because then I work really hard. I put my whole life into it. I throw myself across the finish line, and then I'm short, and there was this one time I worked really hard for months and months and months, and I missed the goal by a lot of money. And I was depressed. I was seriously depressed. But after like several months of hindsight, because I just couldn't get past the fact that I failed, after several months of hindsight, I eventually realized that I had my best performance ever, and I shouldn't have been upset just because I didn't hit the goal. And so that's what I've learned over the years of doing things like this, is just trying to see the big picture. But with that being said, I'm still going to try really hard to hit the goal. Again, another challenge is to make it really work and hit it. I got to hit 11 trades in a row. So that is a challenge. But because I'm thinking, okay, this is an obstacle, but because I'm following the trend, I'm using pretty big stop losses. I'm going to be looking at weekly, daily charts to try to really gauge this thing. The little chops are not going to chop me out. So that's how I have accommodated this, because 11 trades in a row is going to be challenging. And it's not just 11 wins in a row, but it also has to go and hit the target as well. Like if I have a 200 pip target and I hit 50, right, then it's going to eliminate the opportunity for me to hit my big goal. So I have to have the discipline to try to hit the big targets without giving the profit back. So again, that's another challenge. And so for you guys that are watching along, do something, come up with a plan like what you saw me do. But you don't have to go for $1 million. I don't know where you're at. I don't know. You got to also take into account experience too, right? I'm not saying that you can't do this if you're a new trader. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you got to factor that into what you're risking, right? Maybe you don't want to risk the 100% that I'm risking. Maybe you only want to risk 5% or 2%, but just do the same kind of concept. Your growth won't be as high. But again, I have to factor in experience because I do have 25 years of experience, right? And that counts for something, right? So you have to make the plan according to what you have as your experience level, and also what you have with your balances. How much money do you have? You don't want to put yourself in a place to cause discomfort, right? That's why there's a disclaimer on the front end. Don't put yourself in a discomfort because it messes with your mind. Trading psychology is a big part of this as well. You want to be thinking about the whole process, right? You want to be thinking about psychologically, how do you feel? Is your feelings going to cause you to do something stupid? And that's one of the reasons why I like talking things out and explaining things and talking with other people, taking my time. So yeah, if you want to follow along, make these adjustments according to your current situation. You're going to see all the trades. I'm going to post them all here. You're going to see everything. And after this, I might even put together a spreadsheet that you guys can follow along with. I've done that in the past, and it's pretty easy for me to do. So I hate promising stuff on the fly when I am under the gun, because then it creates extra work for me. But this is actually pretty easy for me to do. So I think if it's beneficial, you guys would like that. So today, let's keep going here. So again, challenging here, making the moves happen in 1 month or less. I can't control the market. I can't make the market go 300 pips in my direction in 3 days. I just can't do that. So I have to follow and do what the market's going to give me. And so sometimes the market will be really generous and give it to you quick. Other times it'll chop around. I could be in a great trade. My timing is off, and it might go sideways for like 2 months. And then where am I at? So I'll have to make a decision since I'm trying to get here. And if it's been going sideways for a month, and I might have to close it, right? Because sometimes the market consolidates. And so the thing about that is I'll have to make a decision. Okay, should I cut it off? Even though it's not a losing trade, I'm up a little bit. Should I cut it off and then try to get into something that's trending? Because then as soon as you get out, well, then that's when it decides to make its move up finally. So that's a tough decision to go through here. But it's all part of this. And so I'm thinking about it. And again, the third risk challenge is timing. The timing has to be just right. I don't want to get in something that goes sideways. And then again, risking the right amount to double without blowing the account. So the first trade, it is what it is. After that, I have to kind of negotiate the waters to try to give myself the maximum opportunity for rapid growth, as also at the same time working at preserving my account so I can stay in and do it. So I'm actually starting right now. This is the start. If there's a trade today, I'm going to take it. If not, I'm not going to force it, but I am starting today. So let's go ahead and keep looking here. Let's go. So now I want to talk about the strategy and how this is actually going to work. And it's going to be simple, right? I believe in simplicity. Simple is going to be easy. Find the strong trends and then try to time them to try to find the entry to get the trend to get enough pips to double the account in one trade. So I'm going to be looking at the weekly trends. I'm going to use the daily chart also. I'm also going to look at the 4-hour and 1-hour. And I'm going to look at the Savvy MACD indicator to confirm entry for timing. And I'm going to lock in profit as trade progresses in my favor. And I'm also going to, I don't have the link right now, but in the description after this training, I'll put the link for the Savvy MACD as well, because that's actually a free tool that we created for MT4. And if you're trading on MT4, great. If not, a normal MACD will work as well. This just has a couple extra bells and whistles. So that's pretty much it. I also am going to add on here, I'm going to be looking at trends using the power indicator. That's another tool that's available on my website. And I'll post the link for that as well. So one other thing, I'm getting close to finding the strategy, but one other thing I wanted to mention here is I had wanted to test to see if I could actually do this beforehand. So I took a sample trade earlier. And so this was the trade I took. It's the Australian dollar New Zealand. And you can see I drew an arrow here, and this was my entry. You see that bullish candle right there? And that when that bullish candle crossed above this line, that's when I entered into the trade at, you can see the price here about 166, 1066, and it went up to 1079. And so I put my stop loss down here, and you can see that it went up pretty nicely. I was able to double my account on one trade, and that's how I was able to hit the winner on a test trade. So I was just practicing, wanted to make sure the strategy was viable. And the concept was this was a nice strong downtrend, and I drew a trend line here. I drew this trend line, and that trend line caused the was broke when it broke up here, and then it went back and retested, and then it took off. So that's what I was looking at. I waited for the trend line to break, a new trend developed, and plus the Australian dollar was really strong, got back in and followed it. And so I'm trying not to watch the comments when I'm training because I'm teaching. I want to focus on the content. Sometimes these people, sometimes you guys, I love you guys, but sometimes you get me distracted from what I'm trying to teach. And I did say someone saying they're going to put 5,000 in to follow me right away. Again, that's kind of the exact opposite what I was hoping people would do. I'm hoping that you will write a plan out, that you will take the time to think about this a little bit, because I might lose these trades, right? I might lose these trades. This is not a new strategy, and this is not, this isn't a guarantee. I just went over the list of challenges, and one of them is going to win 11 trades in a row. The thing about trading is you try to find your edge, and you try to get in and time your market. But the whole thing is, once you enter that trade, anything can happen. I can't predict the future, right? And control is an illusion, right? There's only a few things in life that we can control. Most everything is outside of our control. I can't control what the market does once it gets in. What I can control is how I respond to winning. I can control how I respond to losing. I can control how I manage my trades. I can control how much I risk. I control when to take the trade, but I can't control what happens afterwards. The thing is, in life, we really want to focus on what we can control, which is ourself and how we respond. And I don't always do that properly. I make a lot of mistakes, but it's a journey, right? It's a journey, and everything's going to be live. And this was a trade I already took. I'm just sharing this because I wanted to let you know that I was doing some practicing, right? It's good to practice before you go out in front of the world, I think. So yeah. Okay. So again, the next session is we're going to do a free giveaway with some of our merchandise and our research report. And I'm going to be going over the options and stock trading next time, as well as reviewing the Forex stuff. So anyhow, remember, if you want to get access to that, just click the sub button, click the like button, get the notification so you get it when I go live. It's going to be around the same time. All right, so with that being said, if we can find those links, I'm talking to my assistants. If you can, well, let's wait to the end. I got a few. I'm going to do the market, and then I'm going to give the links. Oh, you already got them. Okay, so we got the Savvy MACD out there, but I don't want you guys to get too distracted. So let's go ahead now and let's look at some of the charts. So the first thing I wanted to show you was the power indicator. Okay, so this is a tool that I have on my website, and what this does is this shows the strongest currency pairs. Okay, and it also shows the weakest. So you can see that anything on the top is strong, anything on the bottom is weak. So right now the weak pairs are the dollar, the yen, and the euro. The strong pairs are the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and pound. Okay, so based off of this information, it will then show us some of the best pairs to trade. The Australian US dollar, Australian Japanese yen, because it's combining the strongest with the weakest. Here's the strongest, here's the weakest, right? The yen is the next weakest, so the Australian with the yen. The euro, so the euro is weak. You can see that with the Australian. So then after it runs through those pairs, it then goes, okay, we got the dollar weakness, but what else? Oh, the Canadian is really strong. So selling the US dollar versus the Canadian. And then we have the pound versus the dollar. So these are primarily the trades I'm going to be looking at. So this is a nice filter right here as well. And we go in, we try to, right now, this automatically eliminates a lot of my work. So I'm going to be looking mainly at these five, right? Aussie yen, Euro Australian, USD CAD, and Australian USD, trying to time the strongest pair. Now, if you'll notice, there's a tab up here on the top. This has the monthly, the weekly, the daily, 4 hour, hour, 15. I can change the time frame because the time frame is just the price movement in a confined period of time. So monthly is the strongest trend, the most powerful. So that's really what I want to stick with. And then I'll click down to day and see what's happening on the day, which is actually good news, because if we look at the monthly is really strong and the daily is actually weakening. The Australian dollar and euro is actually like the weakest right now. So it would actually be the opposite. It would be, oh, you should sell this pair. But I know on the monthly it's the strongest. And so what does that mean? That means the people that aren't trading long term are forgetting what the trend is, right? And so there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be selling the Australian US dollar when they should be looking for places to buy. So that means a lot of people are going to be taking trades that are going to go the wrong way. They're going to get stopped out, and that's going to drive the price higher, which should give us an opportunity to get in at a better time. So those are the primary. I'm going to actually just keep this over to the side so I can remember what trades I want to look at. And now I'm going to pull up the chart. So let's go ahead and pull up some of the charts here. This is what I'm looking at here. And so the indicators that I have on this chart, just to explain how it works, I have a money management tool, which is called Epic. And it's a tool that we use for MT4 only. If you're using MT4, it's great for helping you with your trade size. So I just see where it says here, it might be small. It says money to risk over here. That's what I'm risking because we talked about the plan. I'm risking $2,100, and I set that up in my trading tool. So I don't have to do any calculations. I don't do anything. The trading tool does it all for me, and that's called Epic. And actually, we are having a special on that right now. They can post the link on there as well if you're interested. So that, and then we have the MACD. That's the other tool I have. Now, the MACD is primarily going to be used to help me trigger my entries. And I'm going to also be primarily using it on a little bit lower time frame. I'm going to do a full analysis on all of the pairs and see if it's time to get into the trade. The MACD, I'm going to be looking for price to be pulling down. Like, see how we had a nice big green move here, and then it pulled into the red, and then when it crossed back over, we got into the trade. So in this situation, let's just do a hindsight review here. We got a nice big move to the upside. Okay, nice big move to the upside. It went actually an insane amount of pips here. I just dragged my crosshairs. It went 1,800 pips. So for me, if I could grab a trade out of here, there's a lot of different opportunities. But once it crossed over, it crossed over right here. Okay, it crossed over. And then from there, it still went another 1,000 pips. So once the crossover happened, it was good. Then we kept going up, up, and up. And then what happened? It started to pull back. And the pullback was pretty slow, right? The stuff doesn't happen instantly. We got to be very patient. If you look at this, the pullback happened, the date-wise. It started to happen in September, and it kept going down until November 1st, November 3rd. So it was September, October. It was a 2-month sideways market in a bullish trend. So this is what I was talking about. I don't want to get in here and then hold this thing for 2 months. That's just not a great scenario to be in, okay? So we want to try to get our timing just right. And so that's why if there's no trade, I'm not going to force myself to get into a trade that's not happening, because I don't want to sit there and hold it for 2 months. I also have on this tool here, I have the swap. You can see it says swap per lot, $1.80 for long trades or $2.40 for short. So either way, I have to pay interest on this. And the longer you hold it, the more you're going to lose, right? So if we calculate this, $1.80, that's roughly $2 a day. And so if you hold it for 30 days, that's $60. Okay, but $60 is not terrible, because I could potentially make $2,100. I'll pay $60 to make $2,100. And that's, it's worth the cost of doing business, especially because I'm borrowing a lot of money. It says here that the lot size would be roughly 1.28 lots. So that means that I'm borrowing $100,000, right? That's how that works. One lot is $100,000 of currency. So to pay $60 in interest to borrow $100,000, that's pretty good. Now, just also in review, I have 2 moving averages here. I have the 200 period moving average on the chart. I have the 50 period, and this is also used to find the trend. I'm looking for anything above the 200, and then if it drops below the 50, it has to be above the 200 and the 50 for me to take this trade. Okay, I'm looking for that to happen above the 200 and above the 50 period moving average. So in this case, when it finally went up, it broke the 200 and the 50, and I like to use trend lines as well just to kind of give me an idea. Look at this. Okay, so we had a nice trend line break. It broke above the 50, so my entry, and then what else do we have? Another confirmation on the MACD. The entry was really solid. Okay, the entry was really solid, and this trade, I probably would have put my stop loss down here about 250 pips away, 260, and it went a nice 600 pips. So this would have been a really solid trade. And this highlighted section is part of this Savvy MACD. It does a lot of stuff. It puts black dots on here when its price is going to reverse. It shows divergence. Here's some divergence lines. I'm not going to go into all of those details on how all that works. You can research some of that, or you could look at our YouTube channel. The Trading Strategy Guides YouTube channel has quite a few tools and trainings on how to trade with divergence. So let's go ahead and get started with this analysis right now. So the first thing I like to do is identify some support and resistance levels, and do that on a weekly time frame. Okay, so right now we have a pretty strong upward move. So the trend is definitely up. It's downtrend, but it's rejecting the downtrend, and now it's up. It's moving up. So if I zoom out a little bit, the reason I say that it's a downtrend is because back here in 2011, it's just been going down ever since. But we got to look at what is going on with the trend. The trend here, you see this? It's actually right up against a trend line. And see, most people didn't know this. This is right up against a weekly trend line. I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, this is a really, really big deal because this is a long-term downtrend, right? So what is going to happen here? This is why we want to look at these long-term channels. So there's a nice downward channel that's been going on since 2008, right? And it's been respecting this channel pretty nicely. All right, now, here's what we want to think about. This is where things could get really exciting. If this channel breaks to the upside, this could be a big move. I mean, this thing could go way up here even, and it could even go beyond. I mean, who knows, right? No one knows what's going to happen. But we're currently in a very important level. Right, now let's see if we can find some other resistance points here, just to give us some more clues of some things that we could look at. And sometimes this MT4 platform messes with me a little bit. So here's another level that's really important. So you can see it hit here and then here, which is on December 18, 2018, or January 2018 and September 2017. So this level was hit on the weekly time frame a couple times, and what happened? It never was able to break it. Never. It actually hit it here. It was support here, and that's 81. It's 81. So pretty important stuff. So if we end up going up and breaking through here, then we have a potential target of 300 pips to the top of the next resistance level. And what I try to do in trading is not make a decision. I don't try to make a bias. I don't try to predict stuff. And I say that, but a lot of times I do end up predicting things. Unfortunately, I just try to let the market decide to me. So here's another support level. It broke this one. It was over here. So now this is currently a support. So we currently have a weekly wedge happening. We have a weekly wedge. It's inside of this range, and this wedge is 422 pips. So what could play out is that the price now is headed down. We could go down. Remember the last time we went down was over here. We could go down for several months. This was, when was this? This was in August or September to November. This was a 2-month downtrend, okay? We could go down now for another 2 months, stop here, and then bounce up and then do that. So, you know, I'm just trying to play all the scenarios out right now before making a trade, because since I'm doing a trade, since I'm doing, you know, this is an important scenario, I want to really take my time. I don't want to do analysis paralysis. I hope I'm not boring everybody with the analysis here. But I want to take my time when I'm planning the trades. I could have just gone in and said, here's what I'm doing. Boom, here's the trade. And if that's what you guys want, then that's okay. But I'm trying to explain my thought process. So right now we have a support level and the resistance points pretty good. So now let's look at it on a daily time frame, and let's take a look. So daily, it's currently got a level that is in play. And because this has really been a strong trend, I think that this level could be one that I would be willing to take a trade off of. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to be watching this. The MACD is currently going down on the daily. So it hasn't quite gotten to the point where it's overextended yet, or it's not on the red. It's nice to get to the red, so then you can get in and ride a trend like I did before here, but that's not going to be the final factor in making a decision. I'm not, because I might just, I want to time it right, but at the same time, I'm not going to wait 2 months for the trade. I'm just going to go look for something else. I'm going to try to find the best possible trade that we can for this situation. So what I would do here is wait for it to touch this support level, because it was pretty strong right here. See what happens. If it breaks a trend line to the upside, then I'll take this long. So right now it's not giving me enough bullish momentum. Let's look at it now on an hourly time frame. Okay, hourly, it's looking pretty good because we're down strong, we're testing that support resistance, and we're showing a reversal possibly on the MACD. So what I would be looking for is we go look at where I want for this trend to change directions. Okay, so we have the daily trend up, but right now the price is moving down. I would like for this current trend line to be broken here. So I'm looking for this to break, looking for this MACD to cross back over. So I'd be looking for the MACD to get back to the green, for the trend line to break, and for this 50 period moving average to break and show that it's ready to resume the uptrend. I'm back down to an hourly. So like to see these trend lines break, see the MACD cross back over to green, and see the moving averages to break. So we got lots of confirmation, and we know what's happening. It's in the direction of the trend. So right now, as it stands, I'm not going to take a trade on the Australian dollar, but I have a full analysis, and I know what I'm looking for, right? So if it comes to happen in the next couple of days, well, then I'll be able to go and take the trade, right? So here's another little thing is I'm going to let the trade come to me. I'm setting the parameters. When it happens, then I'm going to do what the market is showing me, right? So you make a guess and say, okay, I'm going to guess that it's going long, but I'm not actually guessing until the market does a few things. I need some confirmation. The market needs to say, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to do this. Yes. And then after that, I'm going to say, okay. Okay. And so it might not happen. It might hit this level, go sideways, and then come down here. Okay. But ultimately, I want to let the market decide. It still could be this downtrend. This downtrend that I drew, I mean, this still might be the name of the game. It might want to continue this down move. Keep that trend line there just for fun. It might want to continue this. It might say, okay, that's it. We're going to go back down. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to see the levels and give it the ultimate opportunity to give me the best position to get a winning trade. So right now, that's that. So the next one I wanted to look at, based off of these charts here, is let's take a look at the Australian yen. Let's take a look at the Australian yen and see what the Australian yen has to say. Okay, so we got the MACD on, we got the daily chart, and it's really very similar. It's probably just not as strong, but let's take a look here. We're now at weekly time frame, and I've got this trend. Looks like it has been broken on the weekly. You'll notice that the 200 period moving average was just broke. I guess it depends on how we draw this, but either way, this has definitely moved from an uptrend. Okay, so then we have some support levels that we could write. There's one right here to look at. That's probably the most recent support level. You can see all of these zones where the price was, and currently this is even an even stronger uptrend than what we saw with the Australian dollar as well. So it's pulling back. I went to a daily now. Here we are on a daily time frame, and it's pulling back. It's touching this support. It'd be probably ideal to come back a little bit further. Let's take a look and see what the MACD is showing us on a daily. It's steadily going up. It hasn't really moved down at all yet. I'd like to see it move down a little bit more. I'd like to see this come back down before taking the move up. We do have a trend line right here as well. See how strong that is? If that breaks, it's going to take some time. It's going to probably drive the price lower. So at this point, I would be willing to take this trade, but what do I need first? I need some bullish confirmation. I need this MACD to go to green on the hourly. I need these moving averages to break up. So again, not in a position to trade this right now. But that was the analysis. We currently also have a resistance level right here in place. Okay, so with that being said, let's take a look at the Euro Australian. So Euro Australian, see what we got here. Where are you? There we go. Okay, so Euro Australian. Now this is an opposite trade, right? Because why is it opposite? Because the euro is first. So that means a weak euro, strong dollar is, or strong Australian dollar is pushing this down. So we can see we got everything going. It's moving down, just broke some key levels. It's been trading down. Definitely, it was in a nice channel, made a nice big move early, but now it's really down. So let's look at a weekly time frame. Gives us a little more of a picture. And what do we see? Well, we see that the weekly trend line here was in play, and it broke lower. It also broke below the 200 period moving average. MACD is moving lower as well. Let's see if we can find some support and resistance areas. Here's one right here. So this is probably the the closest level. So we could get down here, which is about 300 pips away. We're currently really strong to the downside. Let's go to a daily time frame. We have a very strong downtrend. Every time we get a pullback up, it goes in. So I'd like to see it pull up a little bit in here. What else do we have in play? And so you can see that this is taking a lot of patience. Nothing is actually showing up today. So I'm going to go over the rest of the pairs. I'm not saying that we're not going to get a trade today, but I am saying that I'm going to be patient. And, that's one of the big problems with trading is people don't want to be patient. They want to, they want in now. They want money fast. That's why you see all these things on the internet that says make money right away trading. In today's generation, we got the microwave oven. We want it hot. We want it fast. We want it now. We got, the microwave's not new, but we got fast food. We got everything. In today's generation, we want it quick. We don't want to be patient. But when you're trading, you've got to be patient. You've got to wait for these setups to develop. So I could have done this on a lower time frame, so we would have had a trade every day. But I wanted to be patient. Plus I think it helps more people, because if you take your time on it, well, then they can, you can study more. You don't have to be in and out so quick. It takes a little less skill, I think, to do it on a longer time frame as well. So we got a trend line here. We're moving up. I'd like to see, let's look at it on an hourly chart. It still hasn't even broken this up move here. So we're still moving down. Let's see what the trend lines are telling us. We have a trend line that was broken. The 50 period starting to trend up. So I'd like to see the price move up into here and up into here, and then start to go down before taking a trade here. And if we look at the swap on this one, you got to really be crazy to take a long, because it's $20 a day on the long side. And so what that means to me is, and you actually make money on the short side. So that means that this might not go up a whole lot, because that's just crazy. Like, who would be paying $20 a day? You got to get in and out of that quick, to me, unless it's really going to move fast to the upside. So with that crazy swap, that I put that as giving us an edge, right? So we want to be watching. So in this case, just knowing that swap where it is, if this gets back up into the green, if we get another pull to the upside, I'll be probably all over this on the short. Think this is a really solid opportunity to get a nice move. And if we go back out and zoom to a weekly time frame, you can see there's a lot of room for us to go down. I mean, there's current levels all the way down at 116. So there's lots of opportunity to go down, and I think that we might have an opportunity to do that. But again, I'm not going to do anything until the market tells me what to do. Okay, next trade on the list, and there's only 3 more to go. We got 3 more to go. USD CAD. USD CAD, again, is a pretty nice one. This is a short trade. You can see the price is down. MACD is down. We're getting a slight pullback now. This has been pretty strong. Let's look at it on a weekly time frame. You can see that we have broken a lot of key levels. We broke this trend line right here. Let me draw this out even further. Nice big trend line. And these trend lines aren't perfect, especially on a weekly time frame, but you can see we broke all the moving averages. We're going lower. We have, what's the most recent support level? Right here is one. And we have one right here. So you can see USD CAD there's some levels that we can get to. So let's go now to an hourly time frame. We pulled back up, so we're above the moving averages. We did break an upward trend right here, and now I would just wait for some of this stuff to turn on us, to go back to the downside. Watch these to go over below the moving averages and get us back on the short side. With the short trade, this one's a little more expensive. It's $6.70 short. But right now, if you even look at this on the USD CAD, it's touching this 200 period moving average. Take a look. It's been respecting this 200 period for quite some time, since November. If it does move back to the upside, that's okay, because then we'll just wait for it to determine which direction the trend wants to go. But we'll be looking at it. So right now, I'm still thinking short. I want to see it move up into a few resistance points, go back and continue the direction of the trade. All right, two more to go. Pound dollar. So we got pound dollar. Again, let's start with the weekly. You can see we just pulled up over on the 200 period moving average, and we had a trend line break. Price is really going here. It's moving. We're starting to get some nice reversal points, but it needs to go down. And here we have it, right? So it's pulling back down now to the downside. Let me draw in some of these more resistance points. So we got a resistance point here. Where's the next one? Looks like the next one is right here. So if we get a break above this, we got a nice big 600 pip move we could get to. We currently have a pretty solid uptrend. We're in a triangle. I'd like to see it pull back into this area. Where's our support at? We have some support right here. And then now if we go down to a daily, you can see the supports in line. We got the moving average. We got the trend line. Let's go. It's starting to shrink a little bit. And what do we have? Okay. So now on the hourly, we're back down. We have price moving down, but it's starting to bounce. You can see we did get this. So I'd like to see this cross back over, move up with an opportunity to potentially move back up above here. And if we get in the green, cross these moving averages, break this upward trend line, which I believe it already did break this on the hourly. It did break on the hourly already, but we're waiting for a little bit more confirmation. The 4 hour is looking pretty good. So this one looks like it's wanting to get ready, but I'm not going to quite do it just yet. Going to be patient. All right, now the last one. The last one was not on the power indicator list, but because it's the euro dollar is a really strong pair. It's traded a lot. I wanted to take a look at it. Plus, I'm very familiar with this pair. So we got a pretty solid trend here. You can see this downward trend was broken. What happened? It broke this level. It went back down and it popped right back up. So this is a really good sign, and now it's hitting the next level. So I like this one a lot because we're currently touching a nice level. We have a big zone from here to here that's 450 pips. That would be just about 500 actually. That would be perfect for us. If we can get back down into this zone, we have an opportunity to bounce off of it. So let's go ahead and look. We got support, resistance. Let's look at the daily. Right here is the level. We're currently in a nice uptrend. We've got this trend line happening. We're currently hitting the 50 period moving average. You can see that it's strong. The daily has just started to turn over, which I like, because last time it turned over, it went for a few days. You can see it turned over right here. went for a few days, and then it didn't last long, and it finally took off to the upside. So again, guys, this is not going to be all exciting. I know everybody's like, oh yeah, exciting, exciting, exciting. It's not going to be like that, but we're still going to accomplish the goals. That's, we're going to try to accomplish the goals. No guarantees, but it doesn't need to be exciting. I mean, I can't take a trade every 2 minutes to doing this. I have to be patient and wait, and that's just what I'm going to do. So with that being said, this setup is one I really like a lot, but it's still not ready. It's still not ready. Why? Because it's still moving down. I am not going to just take this trade with an anticipation, hoping it moves up. I'm going to wait until it starts to show confirmation. And that's okay because I have plenty of time. I'm using a daily time frame so I can wait. But I would love for this to break, to go here at 120, maybe even go a little bit lower. Because why? Because it's going to pull in sellers. People are going to be like, it's basically what you call a bear trap. Everybody's like, oh, it's not really a bull market. It's going down. And so they start selling. They start selling and they start selling. And then the smart money is going to start buying. And then when it shows confirmation of the upside, it's going to do it. So with that being said, I'm actually not going to take a trade because that was the 6 pairs. Nothing is ready. Okay. But I will be back. And so hit the subs, hit the notification so you can get notified. Also, if you want to enter into our drawing, we have 2 links that we're going to share. So let's pull up this here. Let me get back to this. Okay, so next session, which is going to be Wednesday, unless I enter a trade tomorrow, there's going to be a giveaway. And to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is share our Facebook link or retweet our Twitter link. And we're posting both of that. Smart money is just the people that are going to be making money at the expense of the people that are losing money, right? That's all that means. So the smart monies are the ones that are making money. People can see all those levels. These levels, everybody sees these, and the big traders, the big institutional traders, they can see where all the orders are, and they like to push the price into these orders because that's called liquidity. It's lots of buying and selling, and that's what gives them the ability to make the market move more. Okay, so with that being said, there's going to be a giveaway. We're going to post those links right now. So whoever's listening in the chat, can you post? Here's the links that we're going to post. We're going to post, you have to actually share the link that we're going to give you because we have a special Facebook post so we can track it. We're going to post the Facebook link. We're going to post the Twitter link right now, as well as the opportunity to buy this Epic Money Management for discount. I'm going to actually share the FPI link as well. Let's see here. FPI is going to go in here. Okay. All right. So that's how to get the power indicator if you're interested. Actually, let me jump in here. Make sure we're getting all the links shared. Okay. So here's the links that we need for you guys to share. I'm posting them in here now. And I'm going to pin these below the description as well. So here's the Twitter link, if you guys could retweet that. And here's the Facebook link, if you guys can retweet that. Okay, so both of those links will be in your chat. It'd be great if you could share those. And also, we have the sale right now on our Epic tool, which this is the Epic tool that's on sale. And we also have a free 7-day challenge, which is I call the Dream Trade Challenge, which teaches everybody about stock trading. So let's get those posted. Those will be posted here very soon. So if anyone is okay, we got the trade manager posted. That's great. Now the only other thing I'm waiting on is the what is it? The Dream Trade Challenge, the Dream Trade 7-day challenge. So you got all those links that has been posted for everybody. You can get the free Dream Trade Challenge. You can get this special on the Epic Trade Tool, the free Savvy MACD, the free power indicator. So lots of free stuff and an entry to the drawing as well. So hopefully you guys will be able to do that and enjoy it. Also, I don't see the Dream Trade link, the Dream Trade Challenge link. Did you guys post that? The 7-day challenge? If not, we can save that one for next time because, there's only so much free stuff you guys can handle. Too much for one session. All right. Well, oh, it's below the video. Okay. All right. Well, hey, guys, I'm going to let you guys handle a couple questions here for now. So thanks. You guys can share some questions. If you have any questions, let me know. I want to just thank everyone. You guys are a great audience. We had some really good feedback. Hopefully this is going to be exciting for everybody. It's really exciting for me. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. Oh, the Dream Trades was just posted. Great. So thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate everyone that was participating, and I'll give you guys opportunity for give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. You guys have any questions that you would have for me? Yeah, Dream Trades is only stock education. Thanks. In the chat, you just asked a question. You said, where can I ask questions? You just asked one. So the same spot that you just asked, ask right there. Oh, thank you, Malcolm. I really appreciate it. We'll see how it goes. Kern, maybe you missed the session. We'll go back and watch the whole thing. I share it all. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm going to be going over stocks. And then Friday, I'm going to be going over options. SBE Energy, I can't comment on that right now. I will comment on that maybe when I do the stock presentation. I'm not currently doing any crypto training right now, but crypto is a great place to go. Okay, you missed most of it. Yeah, so as soon as this is over, it's going to go back and it's going to become a recording. You guys will get access you can watch the whole thing from the beginning. Recommend that you do that. I go through the whole thing on my strategy. So we're going to be posting a lot of stuff along the way. So again, thanks everybody. It's been really good. I'm going to stick around for about 2 more minutes for questions. So if you guys got any other questions about the strategy. Okay, so Ben was asking, so based on risk to reward, you will hold till you hit a double your reward. That's the idea. It might not always work out that way, Ben, but that's the strategy. If the market is up and I'm up 50% on the trade and it starts to go against me, I might close it, because I have to respond to what the market is doing. Charles, what you need to do to get the advice here is just stick around. You need to just stick around and watch the training, right? You got to watch the training, and it's just hit subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then you'll get it. Chow, if you want to get those links, just send an email to info@tradingstrategyguides.com, and they will give you those links, Chow. We also have a live chat. So if you go log into the members area, you can get live chat. So my stop loss is going to be about 20%. Actually, when I do take a trade, I'm going to go into all the details on the stop. It's going to be a very large amount. It could be the full amount of the account on the first trade. And again, like I said many times throughout the training, is don't ever trade anything you can't afford to risk. You want to make sure that you're controlling your risk. Well, why would I close if it hasn't hit my target? Because, a lot of times in trading, it's not going to go to your target. And then I'd rather take a 50% winner than a 0 or a loser. So once I'm up 50%, I will lock my profit in, right? You're welcome. Thank you. Around the world. I love that name because I like to travel. Franz, you're welcome. Thank you. I always use the Epic Trade Manager. It's right here. It makes my job of trading a lot simpler, so I don't have to do all the calculations. And if you're interested in it, we do have a special. The link was posted below, and it'll be in the description. Okay, last 30 seconds left. So if you got one last question, that'll be it. Do I know how many lots to use in every position? Well, that's where the Epic Trade Manager comes in. Epic Trade Manager will calculate the lots. Let me show you real quick how it works. So right now, here's the euro dollar. I have my money risked here at 2,100. Okay, and so what I can do is a custom buy. And this now will allow me to take the trade, and I just set my levels. So I drag this line, and it sets the take profit. And then I drag this line, and it sets the stop loss. And so it'll automatically change the size. So you'll notice here by watching this box that it calculates the size at one lot. But if I tighten it up, well, then that now changes it to 5 lots. So it automatically calculates how much we'll risk the $2,100. So that's a really nice benefit. Just makes life easier. I have taught how to do the calculations manually. Oh, you can't see my screen. My bad. Let me show you again. I do that all the time. Here, we'll start over. So here's the Epic. It shows 2,100. Okay? Ha, ha, ha. So silly. 2,100 is what I'm risking, right? So you just set that in the settings. And then let me start over from the beginning. So there's these two support and resistance lines. I'll delete these. And I want to now buy this. So what I do is I drag this to the take profit right up here. And then I'll drag this and down here, and it changes the lot size. So it automatically calculates. See, it says 1.24. If I move this again, it will now make it 7.09. So it calculates automatically what you need to risk. And so that is a really nice tool. I know how to do all the calculations. I've taught it many times, but this just makes life a little easier so you don't have to do it all. All right. And then, so the last question is for Marcos. Thank you, Marcos. You said, can you explain the swap? So if you take a look at the Epic Money Management, it shows you that all the long trades, I'm going to be paying 56 cents. And on the short trades, I'll make 7 cents. So if I buy a long, so that means if I buy this currency pair, I have to pay $56 a day, 56 cents a day per lot. So if it's one lot, it's 56 cents. And then if it's short, I make 7 cents a day, right? And that just automatically comes out of the price of your trade. So you want to always look at that because some of them are pretty heavy. Like the worst one that we looked at was the Euro Australian. It's $20 because Euro has a negative interest rate. You're paying $20 a day when you buy this, right? And so you want to be unaware of that when you're trading. And so yes, there's no trade today. It just didn't work out. This pound dollar crossed this moving average, crossed this trend line. I like it, but I'm waiting for a little more confirmation. I will keep you guys updated. And as Traders Way, a good broker, I do like them. So I think they're good. That's who I use. All right. Well, that is it. Thank you, guys. I will see you on the next one. Remember to hit that sub button, hit the notification so you can get access to all of this. No, it's for worldwide, Sasha. Thank you. All the links will be in the description. We'll edit that description as soon as this is over. The account balances are posted at the beginning of the video. I'll leave a little description, but it's 2,100 on this, but I'm doing 3 accounts at the same time. All the trainings will be recorded on my social media profiles. All right, well, that's it. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys very soon. Thank you.